Alrighty, guys. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Just waiting till you guys come in before we start this interview right here. We're just trying to get some of you guys to come in here. Here we go. Let's get it started. Hey. Hey, y'all. Let's go. Hello there.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How much are you, man?
I am great. I'm great. I'm blessed.
That's here. For those of you who wonder who I'm speaking to, this is the executive producer of OutPour. I know it's OutPour LGBTQ, but we say
Yeah.
OutPour right there.
No, I get it because it's kind of a long title, right? It's I
Yeah,
always say the title is like a parentheses.
of
So it's,
course.
yeah, yeah.
My special guest is Antar Bush. So,
Yeah.
and say hi to everybody.
Hello, hello everyone. Hello, D. I see a couple people.
Parents.
Yeah.
Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hello, Carl.
Alrighty, let's get it started.
Let's get started.
All right, for those who don't know who you are, I'm sure some of them already know who you are, but introduce everybody to who you are and what do you do.
I am Antar Bush, executive producer not of Web Life Atlanta and owner of OutPour LGBTQ Productions.
Okay.
And you know, short and simple. I can give you the long version, but
Okay, all good. It's all good. But where are you from?
I'm originally from Philadelphia. Moved to Atlanta July 25th, Carl's birthday, and he reminds me of that. So fairly new to ATL, and you know, just still getting to know. Started off some projects, and you know, just trying to conquer the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
I was thinking up, I was doing my homework on you and everything. I saw you doing some big things. So I was so
Yeah. I'm always working on different projects and just trying to find that lucky break. And I think we may have found that with Web Life.
okay. Now,
Mhm.
what made you want to get into doing like directing and being an executive producer and everything like that? I don't know if it's directing, but I know it's executive producing and
Uh,
creating outpour. What made you really want to get into doing that, or what sparked that idea in your head?
well, I was watching. I'm a CNN buff. I'm a news buff, so I was watching CNN one day, and they were doing a story on trans folks, and they were doing a story on trans folks, and I couldn't, and they didn't have any trans folks in the segment in which they were talking about. And
Okay.
so I was like, you know what? I have enough knowledge and enough background where I can create my own production company. So I cashed in my 401k and started like making things happen slowly but surely. And I started Outpour 3 years ago. And yeah, and so since then, I've worked for a number of other production companies. I've worked, well, before I started my own production company, I've worked for a number of other folks
Hmm.
in industry. So yeah.
What made you want to call it outpour?
Outpour of love, because we're all about love. We are all about love and self-love and giving back. And I want to like it's all about the outpour of love and support. We exude that in everything we do here. And that's what it was a very easy name to come up with.
Because it made me always wonder that question, but I'm glad you answered that.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Now, when you make that transition from going to ATL,
Hmm.
were you like nervous and everything first?
Oh God, yeah. I was really nervous because everything, all of my connects and contacts are all up north. But for what I really wanted to do and take everything to the next level, really needed to be where the talent was at.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's so much untapped talent in Atlanta, and I see it all the time. And so I just wanted a piece of it, and being able to cultivate some of that talent, because there is a lot of talent here, but it's raw. So it's like
Yeah.
a coal. Some of it is like coal, and you got to like shine it to get that diamond. So a lot of it, it's not as polished. Some of the folks'
Uh-huh.
talent down here is not as polished as I'd like to see.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now I know now since Web Life Atlanta is huge, what's been the feedback from you? I mean, feedback from like the audience, and then how's feedback from you seeing everything? How does it really make you feel right now?
Oh, it makes me feel good. I have nothing to complain about. You can't complain about something. I mean, before Web Life, I had a moment a couple weeks ago where people kept texting me about when the reunion was coming out. I mean, it was constantly getting
Hey, Rob,
texted.
see you.
And I had a little moment because it was irritating me. And then I had to think, like, just like 5 months ago, no one was texting me about anything that I was putting out. So I really had to like be like, okay, there's something happening here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make sure that I wanted to like stay in a space of gratitude, because 6 months ago nobody was checking for me. So so I was, yeah,
And see what happens when you put out great work.
yeah,
They gravitate to it,
hmm,
and they follow, as they say. If you make it, they
yeah,
will follow.
hmm, yeah.
So, what do you think of now? Since you're looking at since I know you filmed everything,
Hmm.
and I know this is like your baby.
Hmm.
What was you saying to yourself when you seen the finished product, once you had everything edited and everything was put out there, and you got thousands of views
Hmm.
off of just each episode,
Hmm.
and the reunion, because everybody wanted to see how the reunion was going to go down, because I've talked to
Hmm.
Carl and everything, and
Hmm.
talked to
Yeah, I seen.
Brandon about it also.
Yeah.
So it was just, for me, I was just like, I love it. Like, I love Web Life Atlanta.
Hmm.
But do you
And
see?
if you don't, it's okay too. I've had people who
Well, I
not
like
love that. No, it's okay.
I,
Yeah. I am very grateful for the opportunity to work with such hardworking folks. And that was one of the biggest things, because I couldn't believe, I had always heard that folks from Atlanta would do a lot of great work. I just never experienced it. So once I experienced it and saw it, I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I really wanted to like um, create a reality show, and maybe something I would watch, because I never watched reality TV before this.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you said your partner had you watching reality and telling you what was going on.
Yes, yes, yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah. I mean, he was really like instrumental in a
I,
lot of the
it's like,
work in how I saw the story and what was happening, if it was going to be good, if it was going to be bad, if it was going to work, if it wasn't going to work. And so um, when I started doing the series, character development was important too. So he helped out in a
I
lot
know.
of ways.
No, that's cool. No, that's cool,
Yeah.
because I know, because from what I've seen and what you said with Dee
Hmm.
on the interview, I know her interview.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
know that you like storytelling.
Hmm.
Now, since you done Wet Life Atlanta, has it really made you more creative with doing future other projects? Not really like a series, maybe like movies or something like that in the future, or maybe.
Maybe, but not really. I actually like the reality show experience. I'd like to probably do little, maybe more documentaries like I've done in the past. But I like doing reality TV. I actually really like the experience. I love the humor, and so I've never really had a desire to write a movie. Well, not, I mean necessarily do a movie right now. So that's just not me. I actually really do like doing the reality stuff. I didn't think I would like it, but I love it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, with all that going on,
Hmm.
make you think when you pick? How was the whole casting procedure when you were picking certain, picking everybody that joined the cast of your series? How did that make you feel, especially for it to be an outpour where it's going to reach a huge audience?
Well, no, I didn't think it was going to reach a huge audience, so I did not, because before
have big names, so you never know.
Well, you know what? I've learned, because I've watched a lot of other reality shows, like these web series, and big names don't necessarily translate into views. So you can have a lot of big names, but and my partner told me this. He said your first episode is going to get the greatest amount of views. He said really what you're looking for is episode 4.
Okay.
And he said you will know you have a hit when you look at episode 4 and those numbers kind of match what episode 1 is doing.
Wow, I never thought about that.
So, yeah, you got to have a partner that's going to like ride with you. You know what you're talking about. So so when I got to episode 4 and I saw the numbers were the same as episode 1, I said, okay, this might be a hit. This might be a hit. And as far as casting was concerned, getting back to your question, I'm sorry. I didn't really take care of that. That was all Mikey, mainly Mikey, and then Rob kind of supplemented, which is the other producer, Robert and Mikey. They really took care of a lot of that stuff. And I did the final approvals of all of those things, but I really let them kind of like do their thing with the cast, because there were certain cast members I didn't want. So, and I'm glad that I wasn't in charge of that. Let's just say I was glad that I wasn't in charge of that, because they made the better decisions.
Gotcha. So what made you want to collaborate with Rob and Mikey?
Well, Robert, I've worked with for years. Robert is like my business partner. He's like we've known each other since I know him since he was 15 and I was 18, so we go back. Yeah. Mikey, I had always been a fan of his blog. When I lived in Philly, I had already been familiar with his work, so I had went out and I reached out to him, and we worked together a little bit. We had did some like little snippets on our YouTube channel, and I was like, okay, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's got a little formula. And we started working together. I pitched him an idea that I wanted to do around dating. I knew I wanted to do a reality show, but I thought it was going to be around dating. And he had presented this particular idea to me. So I was like, that could work. I said, well, why don't you put together, let's see what you come up with. And so he put together some cast members, and I took a look at all of them, and made some decisions and took it from there.
Cool. Now, what inspires you? Like creativity wise?
What inspires me is the when people are giving me, like, if you just give me 100%, that'll inspire me to give you 200%. So, like when it was a time where like Brandon would he was doing something, the thing with Dr. Dre, with the lubrication, the black guy who owned the lubrication company. And in that scene, like I can see like Brandon giving me like 100% in that particular scene, and it made me want to like do more. I was like, okay, well, let's shoot this. Do you want to shoot that? How do you think those? And I start asking questions, because in that moment I see you're giving me a lot and you're inspiring me as a creative, so I want to make sure that I show you in the best light.
Okay, now I'm gonna throw my little shady my shady question right there.
Oh no, you can throw all the shady questions you want. I'm not new to this.
All the cast members, who's your favorite or favorites?
Oh man, I have favorites. I don't know. I mean, they're all good, and even the ones who gave me headaches, they all were good. The one Carl, Larry, Lacey was my favorite confessionals. So I loved literally editing her confessionals. It was just such joy. It would make, if I was in a bad mood, I would just watch her confessionals and it would make me happy. Because I mean, she was like, so as far as editing, as far as filming concerned, like filming a person, working with them, my favorite person to film was definitely a tie between Carl and Brandon, because they would just give so much, and they would ask, "Is this enough? Do I need to be more?" Like they would ask me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well that's good." So I love that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I know there's been moments I know you got along with certain people. You know, certain people you can handle, and some people you couldn't handle.
Oh
But
no 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 no
no, I'm
no
saying
no
like
no.
the cast.
Oh.
I'm saying like the cast members, not personally. I'm saying
Oh
like.
no no, I can handle them all, professionally and personally. It was more so the I I don't think they could handle me was the issue. Some of them could not handle me. I'm not easy. I mean, I'm North Philly native, Richard Allen project. So like I come in, you know, I'm a man of a certain age. So you're gonna, you know, and you know this, like, you know, you're going to like, we're going to do things very differently than
Exactly.
what you may be used to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You see, look at the comments. Everybody looking at the comments. They're like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I know I had to ask some questions, so you know,
Yeah.
don't ask some questions right there.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, I'm just saying it's for everybody to comment. That's not your issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you can describe yourself in a few words for those, you know, for those who work with you and who know you personally or who want to get to know you, what would you describe yourself as?
I'm a hard worker, no nonsense, um, and I'm going to present Black, gay, LGBTQ folks in the best light possible. And I know that there was like some issues where people feel like I was making them look like a fool or something like that, or making them look weak, or making them look like something else, right?
Okay.
And I told someone, I said, if you don't say it, I can't play it. That's how reality TV works. That's the 11th commandment in reality TV. If you don't say it, I can't play it.
And
So if you feel like, huh?
no, I was saying same people in the comments saying hi, Miss TV.
Yeah. So if you feel like you looking dumb or weak or, I mean, that is what you presented. Now I might add a little sound effects, a little glitch, you know, to make it look like intense. But at the end of the day, if it's not said, there's nothing to edit. There's nothing to do. So if you looked weak in a scene, it's probably maybe because you came off as weak. I just exasperated it. That's all.
All right, well said.
Yeah.
There's something else left to say on that.
Yeah.
Now, when you're not doing, you know, being an executive producer and just doing OutPour, what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, not a goddamn thing. I go to brunch, drag brunch. That's about it. I don't do nothing but go to drag brunch, boxing classes, and the gym. That's pretty much and I'm a college professor, so I'm always doing something. Yeah.
Professor in what?
I teach social work policy. I teach African American policy as it relates to African Americans in healthcare. So anything that's Black, I do. Blackity black.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just answered a lot of stuff I wanted to know. But we're not finished yet, but audience from people, from the viewers. And so if anybody wants to have a question for Mr. Antar Bush, make sure you put it on the question box, and I'll make sure we answer it.
Yes.
Because I know you're very smart, but wow.
I read a few books.
Larger than I thought.
I read a few books.
I know you read it.
No, I'm joking. No, I get it. And I've seen all of the interviews that folks have done with you, and so for the over, you doing your job. I feel like I've given interviews to folks and asked folks, people who've done interviews, people who have been just fair, overall.
Hold on, D saying how y'all both reading the comments because we good like that. Because I had a lot of my friends, they knew who know who you are, who are on here, so they got it. They were like, "Oh, you have to ask these questions."
Oh, go well, ask the questions.
Oh, we got one right here. I'm gonna read it right now. It says, "What do you want to do different in the next season?"
Oh, No, that is a great question, and I think about this every morning when I wake up, literally. And one of the things is I just want more complex
Hmm.
storytelling. So I think we kept it really like baseline storytelling this season. It was just like beginning, middle, end, right? I would like something where someone who I like complex people who do really good things, maybe for a bad reason or a bad thing for a good reason, and like just getting to get on deeper levels. I would have really liked to explore that thing with Mikey at the wedding, because I actually think that happens a lot more than people think. Like I loved that storyline where Mikey gets
Hmm.
jealous at the wedding, and if we had more time, I would have kind of looked more into that, because you see it all the time, even on Instagram or on YouTube, or this person gets more followers, or this person gets a
Hmm.
celebrity shout out. So now I don't like you, or I can't celebrate you in that moment.
Hmm.
I think people looked at the wedding as just like, but that's just an example of just, jealousy. And I
Of course.
think that I would have liked to explore that a little bit more, but time constraints.
Right. One of my best friends just wrote, "Who are your influences?"
Oh, Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay. I love me some Ava DuVernay. I mean, her work ethic. So, I had a chance to work with Ava DuVernay during the filming of the 13th. So when, as a production assistant, so being able to see how she works and operates, and how intense she is really how I learned how to like manage this particular project. And I can't even tell you how many times like I've had to like be that intense with certain
Okay.
folks.
Okay. Because I love her. I love her
Yeah,
too.
me too. I think
I
she's
love because
anointed by God.
I love Queen Sugar.
Yes, yes. Yes, yeah. I think she's anointed by God. So I love her.
Now you see, we're gonna get multiple questions from multiple people. So just
Mm-hmm.
because Rob had to ask this question, so Rob looking forward to do with season two. Like you just, even though you already said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just more complex stories. I want some trans folks. I want to do an HIV story. I want to do a trans story. I
Uh-huh.
want to do a Jack story. I want to I always say I want to see like somebody getting rejected on Jack. I want to see like someone, I want to see like just more complex stories that we see all the time, like aging and like different types of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Now here's another question right here.
Mhm.
It says how many episodes are you doing next season?
Oh, good question. About 10 to 12. It won't be more than, well, probably no more than 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with you doing that, how was it doing it during pandemic time? You know, even though we're still in pandemic, but when you were starting, because I know sometimes it takes a while for you to film everything.
Hmm. Well, they ain't care in Atlanta. I mean, if I was in Philly, this would have been a different story. But in Atlanta, they didn't care. Everything was open here in Atlanta. So because everything was open in Atlanta, it was like, I mean, I was just like, whoa, it shocked me. So, because I'm being from Philly and then coming to Atlanta, everything was already open. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Now this one says, casting wise, what do you want? We already answered that question, or if you want to answer it a little bit more.
Oh, just casting. I just want different folks. I just want different type of folks. But I do not take care of casting. I am not. I just approve casting. I'm assuming, like, I will give them like some of the things that I want to cover, and then
Mhm.
they will actively like kind of look for that. And so that's what I've learned. Because I'm just that's I would have picked a totally different cast,
Mhm.
had it been up to me. So I've learned to like let me just stay in my lane.
Okay. Now this is a question I want to know right here.
Mhm.
Are you going to do cast?
Yeah, I've thought about that, and I would love to do that once one or two of the cast members have built their brand up and they have more than enough to support one show. Of course, I would love to do that. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
like I think that's important,
Of course.
but it just has to be done right. It has to be done right. That's what
Same.
my thing is. And every time somebody presents an idea, I'm always like, "What's the plan?"
I feel you on that.
Hmm.
I like that. That's a good way of putting
Yeah,
it. Now this one I have
yeah.
to this question right here says what were your biggest obstacles that you faced while filming this project?
Um, the biggest obstacles was really the cast. They really presented my biggest obstacles with their whining and crying. I mean, for people who have had all this production experience, I never saw so many tears and whining in my damn life. Um, I mean, it was quite shocking to me. And I remember telling friends of mine, I was like, I thought these. I mean, like, if you've ever been on a set like if you're on a set, I mean, it's even like I don't even feel like I was that intense. I've been on some intense sets, and I was like, this is not that serious, you know. And they would, I mean, some folks would really complain, and I just had never experienced that. That was something I did not anticipate with people with this level of experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We getting them questions coming in like crazy, I see. Okay, this is the one right here. Has the other web shows, I mean, probably everybody in the cast, reach out to you after the season ended?
Other shows, other web series?
I probably meant the castmates.
Oh yeah, castmates. Well, both have reached out. Castmates, cast folks, and other shows have reached out to me about Web Life since it ended. So yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah. Now, Antar, you just gave now what you answering that. Who's been one of the biggest fans that reached out to you saying that they're a fan of your work that surprised you?
Probably my mom. But no, as far as web series, I think who really surprised me that they said they watched it was Davian, I think his name is, because I didn't anticipate him telling me he watched it. And I had just saw him this weekend at a event that Lando King had. He had an event, and Davian told me, he was like, "Oh, I watched it," and I was kind of surprised because I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think you would watch it," because I know he's busy doing other things, but you know, yeah, I was really surprised because I like his work. Hello? I can't hear you. I think we went.
Okay. We just getting these questions. Y'all just really giving me some.
Oh, okay.
Antar, this one says because 20 minutes is.
Okay, that is good. So I've been getting a lot of questions about this. I actually just got a question about this the other day. So if you understand, YouTube does not go by how long the show is. So I could film a show for an hour, right? So when you look at these shows like Chasing Atlanta or what's the other one? There's a couple of them, and they're an hour long, right? I would actually challenge some of those executive producers and ask them, what is your average watch time? And I bet you we have the same average watch time. My show is no longer than 30 minutes, and our average watch time is 20 to 25 minutes, which actually says a lot. That means I'm not wasting time. I'm not wasting the viewer's time. I'm not wasting, you know, like I would rather quality than quantity. So if they're, you know, yeah, and you don't watch it. They fast forward it. I watch people fast forward this shit all the time. And I don't want you to fast forward it because if it's short, you'll miss something. I know you'll miss something in the storyline. A lot of times when people say they don't understand something in our storyline, I already know it's because you fast forwarded it. I know you fast forwarded.
Okay. Here's a good question from your partner right here, Rob. Says, are there any other creatives / production companies you would like to collaborate in ATL?
No. No. I mean, not I mean, I would collaborate with my projects. No, collaborate with their projects. Yes. So I'm good. If someone, people call me all the time and say, "Hey, I need you to do this," or "Hey, I need you to hold a camera for me," or "Hey, I need you to." If it's your project, I am always willing to help you and do that. But I've learned that a lot of times down here in Atlanta, folks are a little bit more sensitive, and I'm a little bit more hardcore. So, I mean, if my friends from New York or LA says something like that, would be more open to it because they understand my my work ethic and how I get down. But I would rather just you be the boss. So I would help you, but I wouldn't ask you to help me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because I know how I am. I know how I am. So it's important to have, understand how you operate. And so when you understand how you operate, you alleviate a lot of problems. But I help folks all the time.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Now I think let me see if we got any other.
What we got? Who's
Because we ain't
Go
gonna start
ahead.
nothing.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But you sure you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it?
This is from D.
Mm-hmm.
What really happened
What really
between you and
happened between?
Rashad? Because I have him.
Rashad is he's a bright young man. He really is. I think he's bright. He's smart. But I told him the biggest lesson I learned when I worked at BET
Mm-hmm.
is when I worked at BET for some time. I was a freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was in a meeting, and in the meeting they said they were giving like all these ideas, right? And I was new. I had just got hired like 2 days. So I'm feeling myself. I'm like, I'm at BET, blah, 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 blah. My friend got me the job. I'm sitting at the table. I'm seeing them. And I remember I said something. I was like, oh, I think this will do this. And everybody at that table, like,
Wait, Antar, I don't mean to cut you off. Everybody's wanting who you talking about? Who's Rashad?
Oh, Rashad was the host of the show. Rashad was the host of the reunion. And I think I told Rashad that day, I said, the biggest lesson I'm going to teach you when working at OutPour is learning when to shut the fuck up. Because it is very important. Learning how to keep your mouth shut is the name of the game. Like, you have to learn when to speak up and then learn when to fall back. I had to learn that as an adult. Like, I had to learn, okay, not everybody needs to hear your opinion. Not everybody needs to know what's going on. Like, you have to learn your lane. And when you learn your lane, you execute it so well that when someone says, Antar, what do you think? I'll be like, I tell them, boom, 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 boom. But if you don't ask me what I think or ask me how I feel about something, I don't tell you because it's irrelevant. 9 times out of 10, you won't even take it. And he was a horrible host. But listen. The thing is, he was a horrible host. That's fine because I've done horrible things. Wrote horrible papers. I've written horrible essays, and I've done horrible work. I've made mistakes even with editing OutPour that Dee feels a need to tell me every week. So I can understand mistakes. My thing is own the mistake, learn from it, and then we can move on. Now, if you can't learn from it and move on, then what the fuck am I working with you for? Because you're going to make the same goddamn mistake another month from now.
All right. And we're gonna conclude that right there.
Yeah.
Since we've already asked all the questions and a lot of questions, everybody's who probably just popped. We already asked a lot of questions because we really got a new side of my new friend here, Antar Bush. Yes, I have. But to conclude this, tell everybody where they can follow you, websites, all the above.
Yeah. So follow OutPour at OutPour LGBTQ Productions on YouTube. We have a lot of other stuff besides Web Life. I am going to start releasing some more deleted scenes of Web Life soon, because we do have some more deleted scenes that we can put out. And, you know, just check us out. And if you have a story you want to tell, come on, you know, if you're in Atlanta. You're not in Atlanta, is that correct?
No, I'm in Miami.
Yeah, so if you're ever in Atlanta, come to the green room and, you know, be a green screen gangster and come do an interview with us. Yeah. But
make that happen one of these days. Don't worry, we could definitely make that happen.
Yeah. But I did want your interview with Brandon and him saying he felt like he was used on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He was not used. He was not used.
Listen, one thing I'm gonna let you know about me. I let everybody speak their truth, just like I let Brandon speak his truth. I let Carl speak.
Yeah, but he might have had some drinks when he spoke that truth. He might have or took a drink or something. But that was not true. He might have did a little toot beep beep. But that's not.
I'm gonna give everybody, because one thing about me, and I want everybody in the comments to know this, and people who will watch this, because they're gonna be watching this on YouTube also. What we're putting out there.
Oh, go ahead.
But when I do interviews, Antar knows this. But one thing I'm gonna let everybody know, I let people speak their truth, but no, I don't nobody's side. But I'm cool with everybody. But I let everybody have their, because at the end of the day, I wasn't there for it. But at the same time, I let everybody speak their truth. Like he's speaking from how he felt. Carl spoke from how he felt about certain stuff. Now, we have to. No, I'm not saying it to you, but just letting everybody know. Just because. No,
I get what you're saying.
Has a disagreement doesn't mean about it.
Yeah, but also I think it's important that, like, narratives, that if you're going to tell a narrative, if you're going to, like, there should be some, like, you should be able to run a thread through it. Like, you can't, like, some of the things that, like, I've witnessed him say on some of these blogs, and it really is only reason why I've decided to do a lot of these blogs is blogging stories, is because you are not going to put a narrative out there about me, him, or Chris June, or whoever. Or you're not going to put a narrative about me and my company without me saying something back. My name is not Signal 23. My name is not Henderson. I will come at your neck. So you're not going to do that. Not with me. Not with me. Try that shit with somebody else.
Alrighty, guys. And if you want to follow me right there, just to conclude what he just, I'm not being shady to him. Antar knows. No,
I know you're good. You're good. You're doing your job. Do your job. You're good.
He's neutral more than everybody. But if everybody wants to follow me, because I know a lot of you guys are huge fans of OutPour and with Antar Bush and the whole crew of OutPour, we want to shout everybody out on here. I want you to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KTookes. And then you can follow me on my government name, which is KTookes II. That's how you can find me on YouTube.
Yeah, I do. I got you. I'm already subscribed. I'm subscribed on YouTube.
We already know what you have. You already have all that information.
Yeah.
But once you guys see this right here, we're going to conclude this right here, because Mr. Antar Bush is busy and took the time out to do this interview. And he requested to do this interview, which I was like, oh.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time too. Anything else lastly you want to say before we end this?
That is all. And I hope to see you, blogging and supporting season 2. And, I appreciate all the outpour of love and support.
And, I appreciate you too. Because, when you drop stuff, you let me know and I could tell my peoples.
All right. Thank you so much.
But that's it, you guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.